All right, I will call this meeting to order of the Marshall County Board of Supervisors, regular session, October 22nd, 2025, 9 a.m. at the courthouse. Notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You are requested to approach the podium and use the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and/or place a motion on the floor. The opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate and a roll call vote will follow. Roll call, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman.
Yes.
Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve today's agenda.
I will second.
Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman.
Yes.
Item number 5, service awards. We have 2 awards this year, or this meeting. Jordan Gaffney, our county attorney. Jordan, if you would come up. Jordan is observing 15 years with the county, and that's amazing.
Yeah. Congrats.
I will say, just on behalf of the county, we rely greatly on Jordan and his expertise and his professionalism and all that he does to just kind of make sure things run smoothly in a lot of different areas, even outside his office there. So his role here is really valuable and much appreciated by the Board of Supervisors. Do you have any comments you'd like to say, Jordan?
Well, thank you so much for those remarks, and it has been and continues to be an honor to serve the people of Marshall County. And, you know, I hope I'm fortunate to be up here 5 more years to get a 20-year service award, and I hope even more that I have a full head of hair for it. So.
What are you talking about?
Brown hair.
Hair's overrated.
Brown hair.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate what you do of the compassion for victims that you do through your office. I think that's a thing you've done a very good job with in your office, and having that as a major part of what your staff do for victims out there. So thank you for that, and that's a good service.
Thank you.
Yep.
And we're also recognizing Rod Oakes today. And Paul, Rod's been with the county for 25 years.
Yes, Rod has, he was a truck driver for 10 years for us, and then switched out to motor grader, and he works out of the Minerva shed, 15 years. And I was just wanted to get a little bit of his history, and I saw some things in the notes that Royce had when he was hiring him, because we're looking for somebody with good work ethic, and his notes were short. All it said was farm boy. And we don't have any more questions on work ethic after that, so.
Yeah. We appreciate Rod's service to the county. He does an outstanding job. I can know that personally from his work in the county. So we appreciate everything he's done for 25 years for us. So thank you.
Do you want to give that to him to take, or?
Yeah, would you like to make sure Rod gets this?
Will do.
With our thanks and appreciation.
Quarter century, how about that?
Yeah, I didn't think Rod was that old, actually.
Well, since he's on the farm, he's been driving trucks since he was 12.
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say.
If not earlier.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to item number 6, the consent agenda. which consists of approving the previous regular session minutes from October 8th, approval of claims as audited and submitted, file of manure management plans from Burt Farm and Livestock, number 60557 at 2747 170th Street in Marshalltown, signed with no changes. And that is the end of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve today's consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes?
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Okay. Item number 7, and this is the official notice to agencies considering requesting county funding for the next fiscal year 2026-27. The information is the Board of Supervisors requires that all funding requests are submitted to Marshall County Auditor Recorder's Office by December 12th, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. And that's funding, if you're requesting funding for the 26-27 fiscal year. Applications must be accompanied by documentation to substantiate the request. You may request a budget packet from the County Auditor Recorder's Office or download it at the link provided. So that is just information purposes and official notice. Any comments or questions on that? Okay. All right. We will move on to item number 8, approved transfer of funds. Do you want to comment on this, Nan?
This is just our normal quarterly transfer for secondary roads
Okay.
from rural services.
I will entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the transfer of funds in the amount of $750,000 from Rural Services Fund to Secondary Roads Fund.
I'll second that.
All right. Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes?
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
All right. Item number 9, approve Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 CUP 6029 and authorize the chair to sign. Tyler, are you online here?
In from Sandusky, Ohio.
Okay. What comments would you like to make initially here? We
Okay.
do have a representative from Scout in the room and from Mid-American Energy.
Good deal. Okay, I'll be real brief then. This is a conditional use permit for a ALDS tower in the new Vienna wind energy project that will will keep the lights off unless a aircraft approaches. I think this will take some of the complaints that we have received about the flashing lights away and be a good addition to this project. We haven't received any comments, negative or positive, about this project. I did have a couple landowners stop in and just kind of wanted to know where it's at.
Okay,
That's all I have.
all right. Would you like to comment?
This is for Mid-Americans.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, so I'm Jill Ingram with Mid-American Energy. I'm the project developer for this particular project. So what this would be, a aircraft detection lighting system that would essentially, like he said, turn off the lights when a low-flying aircraft gets within 3 nautical miles of one of the turbines in the Vienna 1 or Vienna 2 project. It will essentially turn the lights on. Once it gets out of the area, then it will shut them back off. There were some questions raised in a couple of the other meetings about the stability of the actual tower itself. If the tower structure does essentially go down at any point, all the lights will then turn back on until the repairs made to the ADLS tower itself.
Okay. What's the timeline for this project?
There is one more step with construction and contracting, so we hope to have it complete by end of year, 2025.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Comments or questions from the board?
And that's all four of these that we have are for that, is that correct?
No, we just have one.
You just have one in Scout.
Oh,
Scout,
sorry,
the
there,
ones. Yeah,
all right,
Two of the
perfect.
other ones.
yeah.
I have one question. My other Mid-American contact told me that a flock of geese, 14 or more, will turn the lights on. Is that the right number, or is it?
That's a good question. I'd be
Okay.
glad to look into that for you, but I do not have an answer today.
We'll turn the lights off?
On.
On.
Because they'll be seen as
Oh.
an aircraft.
I see. Okay,
Blaze
that's
has-
important information, yeah.
Blaze has something.
Is this the number you
Blaze,
said?
do you want to come up?
I don't know
and-
if you want me to come up
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for the benefit of people online, so they can hear.
Blaze Ware, Marshall County Assessor. I'm just wondering, so this is part of the project and all that for the wind towers up there in Vienna? I'm assuming it probably would be priced like the special valuation for the wind towers and stuff?
Correct, yep.
Okay. I just want to double check. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Marshall County Conditional Use Permit, 2025 CUP 6029, and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second that.
All right. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes?
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Okay. Moving on to item number 10. Approve Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 CUP 6030 and authorize chair to sign. Tyler, do you have comments about this?
I do. Tyler Kelly, Marshall County zoning. I'm going to give just a brief overview of the project, and then I think Jackson is online from Scout Energy, and he can fill in the rest of the details. This conditional use permit request is for a temporary meteorological evaluation tower over by St. Anthony to measure wind speed and atmospheric conditions as part of the Scout Energy's wind study, as part of their wind energy project in a whole. We haven't received any negative or positive comments on this particular permit. We have received 2 negative comments just on wind energy in Marshall County as a whole. Jackson, if you want to go through the details of the towers and what you guys are doing up there, I think it'd be helpful for the board of supervisors. Jackson on, hopefully.
Yeah, he's in the room, Tyler.
Okay, good deal.
See if that works.
Jackson Fraley, Scout Clean Energy. Just a little background on the project. We began working out here in January of this past year. So far, we've had probably the strongest interest I've seen anywhere in the Midwest for a project like this from the landowners. We've signed 35 leases, totaling 11,000 acres. These are all in various states of being processed by the county recorder. Typically, it takes us about 2 to 3 years to get to that amount of acreage. Overall, this project will probably sign close to 30,000 acres to become viable, with the project being built on 15 to 20,000 of those, depending on zoning conditions and setbacks and things like that as we continue to study. We're planning to connect to a not yet built transmission line that's coming to this county in 2032. This will be built by ITC or Mid-American. They haven't even bid on the project yet. But given wind energy takes about 8 years to build now, this is kind of how early you need to start. So we are looking at the earliest this project could finish construction being 2032. Depending on the final size, that'll be somewhere between $1 to $3 million per year for the county in tax revenue and $2 to $4 million a year for the landowners. So at this point, still incredibly early, just year one of 7 to 8 years for construction. And we are here today to ask for the conditional use permit to put up meteorological towers. These are temporary towers designed to measure the wind speed. We have studies that, we can see on desktop and our computers, but in order to really make sure the wind speed is what we think it is, we need to put these towers up. They'll be measuring speeds at various increments from 50 to 200 feet. And they are temporary towers, so we're not putting a foundation in the ground. They have a pad. They have a guy wire footprint of about 168 feet. They're under 200 feet, so they do not require any sort of lighting on the top for FAA regulations. And we're hoping to find approval on these and install them sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're looking at putting up 2 towers. We've sited them in the areas that are best to measure resource, but are also significantly far set back from any houses that are in the area. So all of these are at least 2,000 feet away from any of the exterior walls of the homes in the areas. And here's kind of the site plan for the first tower. We have one here at Eastman Ave and 155th, and the other is a few parcels in from the road, but near Durham and 200th Street. We'll be having our team come out and just make sure that these are the final locations, but there might be, some 50-foot movements in here. All of these will be set back over 1.1 times the tip height from roadways or any structures.
Questions for Jackson?
Please.
Yep. Hayes, we're Marshall County Assessor, kind of the same question.
Uh-huh.
Is this part of the special evaluation of this future wind project? I wasn't around when the
Right.
current wind projects were put up, so I'll have to dig into some Iowa code, but I figured I'd ask while you're here.
I'll have to confirm that with our tax professionals too. I don't know because it's a temporary structure
Okay.
what the tax policies are, but we can
Okay.
find an answer for you.
Okay, if I can get your card, maybe. after the
Absolutely.
meeting.
Yeah.
And maybe, Jackson, maybe you said this, but by temporary, how long is temporary?
They will, they need to be up for at least 2 years, but we often leave them up all the way until construction for the project starts. Then they come down, a permanent Met tower would go up in conjunction with the turbines.
Same size?
That one would be bigger and would have lighting on it, but would be part of a permit we'd be coming back for in 3 to 4 years.
Okay. Okay. Other questions, comments from the board?
All 3 of these coming up were approved at public hearing at the Board of Adjustment, so just want to make note of that.
Yeah, they're coming to us after approval through the process. Tyler, do you have any other comments?
No, I do not have any other comments on this particular permit.
Okay. Jackson, you might as well stay there.
Sure.
since the next item, so I guess I would entertain a motion then.
I move that we approve the Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 CUP 6030 and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Hibbs,
Yes?
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
All right. Item number 11. Approve Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 CUP 6031 and authorize the chair to sign. Tyler?
This is the same structure, same situation, it's just in a different area of the county. We did have a local landowner that had some ground adjacent to this call in, but once again, his comments were negative about the wind energy as a whole, not particular fish permit.
Anything you want to add about this one and the location?
Similar to the last one, identical structures. This one is, I believe, 2 to 3 parcels in from any roadways, so it is a little further removed from any visual impacts you'd get driving down the road there. But outside of that, it will have the same sort of setbacks and will be at least 2,000 feet from all of the surrounding homes in this area as well.
Okay. Questions? Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve the Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 CUP 6031 and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
All right. Item number 12, approve Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 variance VAR 6028 and authorize the chair to sign. Tyler?
Okay, so this particular variance was brought forward to us from Daniel Matzinger at CGA. Normally, we wouldn't have any issue with this split. There is exemptions in our zoning articles when it comes to splitting a residential area off from either ag ground or a farm building site itself. The main issue was with this split, we couldn't get the required setbacks that we need in an A1 zoned area. So this variance that was approved by the Board of Adjustment would be for reduced setbacks in an A1 zoned area, which would allow the split of this property. As far as the one main concern that got brought up in the Board of Adjustment meeting was who would benefit from this split. The residential parcel that's being parceled off is staying in the family. It'll remain as part of the family farms organization. They just wanted to get the residential piece split from the building site.
Okay.
We know. Okay.
Other comments or questions? I believe you've talked about this before with us, correct, Tyler?
Correct, yep.
I'm not seeing this on the agenda.
Questions, comments from the board?
Which item are we on?
Are we on item number 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't see, is the map of the property brought up behind you?
Yeah, James had the map brought up for us.
Okay, so you guys can see, we needed a 50-foot setback from the plot line for the residential property to that shop building to the east, and we don't have that.
That's where the variance is.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is that not
Would
the right
entertain a
picture?
motion. What?
I just had a question. Is this, Tyler, I don't think I've seen a survey review come through for this one yet, because they were gonna do a parcel within, this is for 3M Farms, right?
Yeah, that's correct. The survey review is in. I think Paul just was the final okay on it. I saw it across my email 2 days ago.
Okay.
Okay, Paul's nodding.
Okay.
Okay,
Alrighty.
good, good. Paul's nodding. That's good, that's good. Okay.
Okay, are we good? Okay.
I move that we approve the Marshall County Conditional Use Permit 2025 variance 6028 and authorize the chair to sign.
I will second.
All right. Any further discussion? Any questions, Jarrett? Or you just
No, I think I'm
searching?
good. Yeah.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
All right. Item number 13, Bobcat Energy Center Letter of Support. I believe we have someone from Alliant Energy here to address us regarding this.
Yes. Chris Bray, Alliant Energy. And good morning Supervisors Hibbs, Heil, and Goodman. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss the proposed Bobcat Energy Center. Alliant Energy has been proud to partner with Marshall County as we've strived to provide safe, reliable, and cost-effective energy our customers can count on. The proposed Bobcat Energy Center represents the next step in our commitment. We continue to invest in a balanced energy mix of renewable and traditional generation sources to meet customer demand and support economic growth. Once operational, the Bobcat Energy Center will support grid reliability and resilience by allowing us to respond quickly to changes in demand and complement our investments in renewable resources and battery storage. With fast startup times between 5 and 30 minutes, the facility will run only during peak periods of demand, while the Marshalltown Generating Station runs consistently to deliver energy to our customers. Both facilities are key to our balanced energy strategy to ensure the availability of energy to meet demand and pave the way for strong, resilient energy future for generations to come. Thank you for your time, and I respectfully ask for a letter of support from the board for the Bobcat Energy Center.
And so, Chris, I understand, the process has been started with the Iowa Utilities Board?
That is correct.
Okay. And do you have any comments or any indication on timeline?
So the typical timeline for the IUC to approve can take between 6 and 12 months. And like you stated, that process has already started. I do believe that early estimations of completion for the project are looking at Q3, Q4 of 2029.
Okay. Questions or comments from the board?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I think we're enthusiastically in support of the project to serve the area. So.
That's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to authorize the letter of support.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of support for the Bobcat Energy Center.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
All right. Moving on to item number 14. Time set aside for the public to make comments on the topic of county business other than those listed on the agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. Would anyone like to? Mark?
Am I yet?
Yeah, you come forward.
I need to pull up my phone because the way my brain works anymore, I forgot about I forget a lot of things. Mark Wyatt from 2601 Ridge Road, just south of Marshalltown. I just have to figure out the phone. Okay. The road roller was the first thing that I was wanting to address, and Paul and I did that before this all started up again. I'm at an impasse with me, I suppose, and it's getting to be quite the frustration anymore with me. I've talked with other people that live back in the area by me, and I don't get anybody else to come because they pretty much figure it's not worth their time, because we've already got the things we've done already is I've been to so many meetings. I've offered right away on my property to fix the issues with the road. The area is petitioned by everybody except one person in the whole area to have the road even paved, and that was a couple years ago, or a few years ago. And then 10 years ago, there was another thing where the previous county engineer had written a letter, and I gave y'all copies of that, where we're at the same place we were that was here 10 years ago. So other than me wondering what the next thing would be, I hate phones. I don't know where else to go with it, because it seems like there's Paul, and I respect and everything with what Paul says about it. I believe he knows what he's doing, and it's, I mean, if we are where we are, you know, I mean, okay, but it's not, the status quo can't just continue on forever. I got a place next door to me, across the road from me on Ridge, that gentleman that owned, Roger, that owns that property. They're trying to sell that because they bought a house in town because he's getting older like the rest of us, and he just doesn't want to have to deal with all the maintenance and everything. And when he had initially started asking for a price for that place, I thought it was way too low, and he had to lower it again because people come out and it's not worth their money. You know, I mean, you get up even next to Roger's property. Roger's property is the north end of his property is where the guy came by with a maintainer and took a swath out of his yard, not a straight cut, but just a swath out of his yard, and trying to find some way of making something drain. And then you go up Ridge Road from 260th, and there's still that curb of aggregate, like so tall, and that's above the ground, or above grade. And then there, where the washout is, that's another 10 inches down, you know, from the grade of the road. And when I was telling Paul, or saying to Paul, when that roller came out yesterday, I'm thinking, well, maybe somebody's got an idea here. Maybe they're taking that roller over by the edge, you know, by the edge of the roadway, and hitting the edge with that and just compressing that 2-inch or 3-inch curb that we've got going on the roadways pretty much everywhere, you know, that won't let water off the roadway. But obviously wasn't the purpose for it. Because I thought I'm like thinking, hey, maybe somebody's onto something here, instead of coming out and trying to grade it all the way. But nothing's being done, absolutely nothing. There might have been some scrape from I don't know if the maintainer went down there in the past few days or what, but it looked like a scrape on the southeast corner of Ridge and 260th on Rogers, where it looked like somebody come by and scraped and made an effort thing around the corner, but nothing to take any of the aggregate that's on the roadway, making it making that curb. Nothing was taken away from there. It was just all there. The curb, that's the wrong word to use, I know, but the pile of aggregate that's there is still there. I mean, nobody's come out to address it. Nothing. And I mean, it just, something has to change. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. And so, I mean, I can't believe, my wife's already saying, hey, so many steps in the house you got, you know, we're going to start looking for something that's more flat, you know, get your old bones up and down it a little easier. And I don't want to lose my face on trying to sell my property because nobody's wanting to move out into something, because even if the roadways are even partially influencing that, I figured out, and I get for county taxes, I have the veterans discount and I have the old guy discount, the senior one, right? And with that, I'm still paying $300 a month, you know, for the to be there, just to live there. And as I'm looking around, I'm going, I really don't see where $300 a month is going. And I am by no means the most expensive place in that area. I gotta be the bargain basement guy, you know, as far as property went, because I look around and see stuff, developed properties around me, and they all look a lot more ornate than mine does. So I gotta assume that out of the other 40-some people that live out in that area, that they're paying a higher tax rate than I am. And like, it just kind of, it's disheartening to think that guys won't come in and say anything or won't come down here to say anything because they're just to the point where they're like going, we've done everything. I don't know anything else to do. And I'm quickly getting into that camp where I'm just coming down and saying something every 2 weeks if I can set out the stuff on a calendar to do. It just doesn't make any sense if nothing ever changes or if there's not a plan to make something change. That sound fair? Okay. That's just, I think that's all. I think that's pretty much all I had with it. It's just, that's it. It's just that I noticed that an observation I'd made was that just inaction on an issue is not a solution ever. You know what I mean? You just let it sit to let the status quo go when there's something that's wrong. If no matter why it's wrong, if it's wrong, it needs to be done. It needs to be fixed and made right. Okay? That's all I got. I'm gonna go sit down now, unless you got some questions.
Thank you, Mark.
No?
I would ask Paul do you want to talk a little bit about what was happening out there?
I'm gonna sit here just in case you want to get up again.
Well, you know that 98% of what we do in secondary roads is tread water. We just want to keep what we have. But I can make things nicer for you with winter coming on. You don't have to come to every meeting because there is a plan. And I need you to give me 6 months because we don't move dirt this time of year. But next spring, we are going to restore the rural section of that neighborhood. We're going to go in there, and that's been the maintenance problem, is that the roadway doesn't have a rural section. It has a forest slope. It has a ditch. That's going to be put in this road. It's going to be restored to a rural section. I'm going to make all the modifications that we need to make, and it's going to be no one will be able to say we didn't do anything on 260th and Ridge Road by July 1st. I guarantee you will not be able to say nothing's been done.
Can I ask a question without getting out?
Yeah.
What does that mean, the rural?
Rural section means Crown Road, forest slope to a ditch that drains the roadway and the right-of-way to get the water off the road and away from the road.
Okay.
Water's our battle there. We are going to modify residential driveways, and I'm going to clear the plan with the board before we contact landowners and tell them what we're going to do in the right-of-way. I'm also going to obtain private temporary easements where there's places where we need to make improvements outside of the right-of-way. We can do these elective jobs every once in a while, and that's what this is. This isn't going to be treading water. This is going to be making a difference. So don't list your house yet, because you might do better in a year. But we're gonna do something.
So if you start work on it next spring, how long do you think that project takes?
Well, it's all weather dependent, but and also dependent on if we can obtain the easements without, because if we can't get easements, then we can't enter onto private property.
But I assume, according to Mark's information, everybody would appreciate having the work done.
Yes, and we would too, because we don't want to spend the hours out there to get what we're getting now. But we can there's only certain times of certain years where we can do these elective changes on roads.
roadways, yeah.
So, but we'll lay things out on what we're gonna do with modifications to drives and it really helps that we've got more supervisory help in our department because our assistant superintendent is all about getting these things repaired, and he's going to be on this project he'll be the kind of the lead dog. And we've got a couple others in mind too. Besides, we don't want 260th and Ridge to be the only thing we work on next summer, but it's going to be the first thing we work on next summer.
Okay. Any other?
Question for Paul.
Yep.
Future down the road, let's say we get some tax revenue, maybe from wind farms, maybe not, but we have revenue to actually pay for a paving project out there. Is what you plan to do this spring something that would help prepare for that?
We have to have an established, sustainable grade to say we can pave it. You know, if we don't have a roadway that's stable, then we don't have a pavable grade. So, yes, we could get it to the place where we could pave it. We would not get it to the place where it's any more than a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit because of the vertical sight distances that are on the curves out there.
And then in the meantime, is there anything that can be done here in the fall on specifically that corner that's kind of worn out there right on Mark's corner?
It's usable right now. It's just a matter of, there's places out there where we have, yes, we have windrow out there. We have quite a bit of ornamental grass right on the edge of the road. And I know the operator's trying to just not get into that too, but we're going to have to get into that stuff. There's not going to be the type of landscape appearance of the road frontage out there when we get done. We'll turn it green again, but it's going to be a ditch.
Any other comments, questions?
The only other question I had was for the, especially coming into the winter months, if we had ever, if the county had ever thought of the idea of that, because I know I think I brought up before about a stop at the end of the road where the T intersection where Ridge
Are you
is.
talking about a guardrail or something?
Something
or?
to stop people, because I'm noticing that I've got a lot more kids driving now. I mean, younger families are moving in the backside of Ridge Road, and they come at that thing like Mach 10, and winter time's coming up here, and that's a really nasty drop off.
It is that. It's not something we don't have in many places in the county, but I wouldn't recommend doing it just because we're going to go in there and make all the modifications. So anything we would put up this fall is going to be removed by May. We'd take it out right away.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I get you.
Is there a way to do temporary? Something
Everything's temporary,
Yeah. Well,
right? I'm temporary.
I understand that, but, yeah. But I also understand what you're saying, because as you come down that hill.
Well, we're gonna take the four slope grade and extend it out by purchasing some right of way so that we can have the toe of that slope be out further.
Okay.
But it's gonna take some drainage work, and it's gonna take some crossroad culvert modifications.
Okay. Other questions or comments?
I mean, make no mistake, if you guys say put up guardrail, I put up guardrail. But I'm just telling you that we will take it out, so.
And those guardrails, I mean, they only protect pretty low speed.
Yeah.
They're mostly made for diverting vehicles that are going sort of parallel to the guardrail, but they can stop somebody who was sliding at 15 miles an hour. You're not going to go through the guardrail. There's places for it all.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Anyone else?
This is Kim Elder, Marshall County Emergency Management Coordinator. How are you this morning?
Good.
Doing well. Kim, what would you like to say?
Well, I would like to remind everyone that the information has been pushed out about the community kickoff for the Marshall County Hazard Mitigation Plan update. It's open to the public. That's an update that happens every 5 years. It's to be compliant with FEMA and assure that our county is aware of any planning and mitigation that needs to be done to avoid any hazard impacts throughout our county. So it can be weather, it can be flooding, it can be various different things. So I definitely invite the public to either session. They're both held on November 24th, which is a Monday, with two options, 1:30 to 2:30, and then again at 6 until 7 p.m. There's flyers posted throughout the county. I know city halls, courthouse have all received this, but it's also posted on the Marshall County, Iowa Emergency Management Facebook page. And it's just a time to gather information from the public and also to let them know what this plan is about. We want it to be a usable plan. It's been used in the past to obtain grants. For instance, some of the outdoor warning sirens We've mitigated a house that was in a flood zone years ago, and that's how we're able to do that, is have these in our plans. So everyone is invited, and I just wanted to make sure that it's out there for everyone.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Lace?
Blaze Ware, Marshall County Assessor. I can't remember if I had this information for last meeting or not. My reappraisal project, instead of starting in early November, is now pushed back to early December. They had some issues with some of their workers. I don't know if they're going on vacation around that time or what, but they had to push it back a month, so.
Thanks for the update.
Thank you. Nan?
Nan Benson, Auditor Recorder. Just a reminder, we are doing absentee in-person voting at the election center. Old Fire Station is going on now for the November 4th city school election. So we are at that season.
Okay. Anything else? If not, we'll move on to adjournment. The next regular session is scheduled for Wednesday, November 5th at 9 a.m. at the courthouse, first floor meeting room right here. All business to be acted upon at that time should be submitted to the County Auditor Recorder's Office, the Board of Supervisors' Office, or via email to the Board Clerk by Wednesday, October 29th at 12 noon. There being no further business to come before the meeting, we are adjourned at 9:46 a.m.